Sometimes I wonder how many of God's children have missed God because they were not listening to the voice of God's Spirit. They missed God. I knew a young man he was a close friend of mine. We prayed together. We went everywhere together. Did a lot of things together. This was way back 1980, 81. And we looked at the future together. At the things we're going to do. We preached together. Organized meetings together. Then one day, his mother was Jamaican, and so he had some opportunities. See, be careful when you have opportunities. They make your life more difficult. Natural opportunities make your life more difficult. And so we had this plan of what we were going to do. One time we organized a crusade. And then in the midst of it, while we're just planning everything and getting ready to go, he suddenly said he wasn't going. Why? There had been a dream. Somebody, one of the folks, were planning together, we'd had a dream of Satan attacking him. And when Satan attacked him, he couldn't fight back, some kind of stuff. And that drove fear into his heart. And he said he wasn't going for the crusade. I said, you're not going? We've been planning this thing. And then he didn't go. So I went. And then now we were back and we celebrated all that God had done in that crusade. A few months later, he got into the university. And when he got into it, I said something to him. I said, I don't think this is the will of God. Now, I didn't mean he shouldn't go to school. But there was a way that this thing had to happen. But we knew what God wanted us to do that was different. I said, I don't think that this is the will of God. But some other friends convinced him. And so what? He went in. Now, can you imagine you're going into the university? How could anybody tell that wasn't the will of God? I mean, everything's worked out. Well, when you walk with your spirit, you know what to take and what not to take. But there's too many of God's children who don't walk in the Spirit. They're not even trained to. Anyway, he went in. And in that first year, trouble broke out. Terrible things. So many terrible things. I'll never forget one Sunday morning we met in church where we worshipped. And after the service, he was looking so terrible. So after the service, I said, what happened? And he gave me all of the story. He said, I'm quitting. He couldn't continue. What's the option? I said, let's follow our plan. I thought, now, okay, so let's follow our plan. No. I'm going to the U.S. I said, huh? But we have a plan. No, he was going to the U.S. Mother got everything arranged. Got his admission into a university abroad. And when the day came, with tears in my eyes, I said, bye-bye. But as he went, I knew his dreams had gone with him. Even though I was much younger than this, of course, but I knew something in the spirit. I knew something just wasn't right. And I knew those who advised him the most were carnal. Even though some of them were amongst us, but they were carnal. These were not folks who would get the real will of God. These were folks who would use their brains, their heads. And they inspired him to take these decisions. Well, he went. I saw him many years later. I saw him about, that'll be 14 years later. And when we met, he said, I've been hearing about you. So I said, what have you been doing? He said, bad, bad, bad. Come on, what happened? I said, sit down. Took a chair, sat down. Let's talk. I mean, it's 14 years. What happened? He was in the U.S. Army. So he was getting some money. But money wasn't it. Life was terrible. Everything had gone upside down, not what he thought. He said to me, he said, if I could change everything, I'll make better decisions. He said, but how? How can I? Gone too far. Just too bad. Give me his whole story. I felt so sorry for him. Great dreams gone out the window.